Some things are better left in the past, if you ask Teresa Giudice. The Rhobh shockingly hung up during a live TV interview after the reporter went rogue with unacceptable questions. Keep reading to find out what sent the Bravo celebrity off the rails and her latest thoughts on returning to the Real Housewives of New Jersey. Teresa Giudice shares latest on return to reality TV. Bravo fans fear that the end is near for the Real Housewives of New Jersey as they know it. Teresa Giudice is the last original housewife remaining on the show from the first season. Bravo has yet to reveal if the show is getting an entirely new cast or returning at some point with the same cast. Season 14 ended last summer with an intense battle between the ladies of the cast. They couldn't even film the season finale together. The fractured cast led to rumors that Bravo was canceling the show. The network revealed the schedule for the rest of 2025, and it didn't include The Real Housewives of New Jersey or The Real Housewives of New York. Andy Cohen insists neither show is canceled. Shortly after the season 14, Teresa Giudice and her sister-in-law Melissa Gorga both implied they wouldn't return if the other did. The in-laws have been locked in a bitter feud for over a decade. As fans continue to worry about the future of Rhobh, Teresa Giudice has seemed to back off her previous claim that she wouldn't return for season 15 if Melissa did. Teresa Giudice was interviewed by Chicago's WGN Morning News this week ahead of an appearance at Zany's Comedy Nightclub in Rosemont, Illinois, on June 29th. The interview got off to a bad start almost immediately when the news show played a clip of Teresa's table flipping and other outbursts. When asked if she regretted any of it, Teresa shortly replied, "Obviously, I've been on TV 18 years. The topic turned to whether she's returning to the Real Housewives of New Jersey. Teresa replied, "I hope. I'm the OG, yes. We'll see what happens. You have to ask Bravo for that. Things only got worse from there." She hangs up on host after on-air interview goes rogue. Teresa Giudice has been a reality TV star since The Real Housewives of New Jersey debuted in 2009. Viewers have watched her lose her temper for years, including the infamous table flip during the season 1 finale. Despite years of interviews, it seems Teresa Giudice still can't control her temper. Teresa and her ex-husband, Joe Giudice, pleaded guilty to tax fraud in 2014. She served 11 months in prison. Her ex served 3 years and was deported to Italy after his release. He's since moved to the Bahamas and started a new career. Out of nowhere, the television hosts brought up the arrest during a live TV interview. One host asked Teresa Giudice why a family doesn't pay for years. The Rhobh star was initially confused, asking what family he was talking about. He clarified that he was asking about the fraud charges. Teresa Giudice immediately cut the interview short. "Okay, I'm hanging up. Let's just hang up." "That's it," she said before closing her laptop and ending the interview. The clip went viral immediately. Paying taxes is a recurring problem for Teresa Giudice. Her current husband, Louis Rulis, was recently hit with a huge tax lion. Do you think Teresa Giudice overreacted by ending the interview after questions about the previous tax fraud? It started like any other press appearance: bright lights, a familiar Zoom screen, and one of Bravo's biggest stars logging on with a smile. But just 12 minutes into what was supposed to be a friendly on-air chat, Real Housewives of New Jersey legend Teresa Giudice shocked viewers and producers alike by abruptly hanging up on the host mid-interview. The segment, meant to promote her upcoming wellness retreat in Tulum, spiraled into chaos after a line of questioning took a sharp left, straight into forbidden territory. Now, social media is on fire, Bravo execs are scrambling, and Teresa has officially broken her silence. So what exactly went down during the now infamous Rogue interview? Here's the full story. The setup, a routine interview, turns volatile. On Monday morning, Teresa was scheduled to appear on The Morning Rush, a nationally streamed pop culture podcast known for its cheeky style and celebrity interviews. Host Kyle McDaniels, who has a reputation for pushing boundaries, opened the segment with typical flattery. "Teresa, you look absolutely fabulous. Are you aging in reverse?" Teresa laughed and thanked him, ready to dive into her talking points about healing crystals, breathwork, and why Namist has become her daily mantra. But Kyle had other ideas. Just 5 minutes into the interview, he pivoted. "So, let's talk about RHONJ, he said with a grin. "Fans are wondering, are you and Melissa ever really going to make peace, or is this just your yearly Bravo performance?" Teresa's expression stiffened. "I'm here to talk about my retreat and my podcast with Lewis, turning the table," she replied calmly, "not to keep digging up the same old drama." Kyle didn't take the hint. The breaking point. Kyle crosses the line. "I mean, come on," Kyle pressed. "You can't blame people for being curious. You called Melissa a snake on national television, and then you invited her to your wedding. Isn't that a little contradictory?" Teresa's eyes narrowed. "You weren't there," she said sharply. "You don't know the whole story, and I'm not going to keep explaining myself." Instead of backing off, Kyle doubled down. "Some fans think you staged the whole wedding drama for ratings. That the tears, the family fallout, it was all a Bravo script. What do you say to them?" That's when it happened. Teresa looked directly into the camera, face flushed. "I came on here in good faith," she said, her Jersey accent thickening with fury. "But if you want to twist everything I say into tabloid trash, then I'm done. This is disrespectful." Then, without warning, she reached off-screen. There was a click, a frozen frame, and then silence. Kyle's reaction. That was not the plan. Stunned, Kyle looked directly at his producer off-camera. "Did she just hang up on me?" He turned back to the camera. "Well, folks, Teresa Giudice has officially left the building. That was not the plan." The podcast cut to a commercial, but the moment was already exploding across social media. Clips of the abrupt exit went viral on TikTok within the hour. Hashtag Teresa Giudice trended on X, formerly Twitter, with fans fiercely divided. Some cheered her for walking away from what they called a clout-chasing ambush, while others criticized her for being overly sensitive and unable to handle hard questions. Backlash and support. Bravolebs react. Within 24 hours, fellow Bravoliberities weighed in. Margaret Josephs, never one to shy away from controversy, tweeted, "Typical Teresa. If she can't control the narrative, she runs. Nothing new. Hashtag RHONJ." Dolores Catania, however, had Teresa's back. "She's human. There's a time and place for everything." That wasn't it. Respect goes both ways. Even Andy Cohen addressed the incident on his SiriusXM show, saying, "I don't condone walkouts, but I also don't condone ambush interviews. There's a fine line between asking tough questions and disrespecting a guest." Teresa speaks out. "I felt set up." By Tuesday evening, Teresa released a video on Instagram addressing what happened. "I want to set the record straight," she began, seated in a soft white sweater and surrounded by candles. "I agreed to that interview to talk about wellness and positivity, not to relive years of family trauma. I'm proud of the growth I've made," she continued. "But growth also means knowing when to walk away from toxic energy. I wasn't angry, I was protecting my peace." The post received over 600,000 likes in under 10 hours, with fans flooding the comments with heart emojis and praise for her self-control. Behind the scenes, was it a setup? Sources close to Teresa told Page Six that the host had promised to steer clear of Melissa Bravo drama and anything legal, but veered off script once the cameras were rolling. She felt blindsided, the insider said. This was supposed to be about her reinventing herself. Instead, she got blindsided with clickbait questions. Kyle, for his part, denies any malicious intent. In a statement, he said, I was just doing my job. I asked questions the public wants answers to. I didn't expect her to bail mid-convo. That's on her. What's next for Teresa? Despite the firestorm, Teresa's momentum shows no signs of slowing down. Her Tulum retreat has already sold out. Her podcast remains a top 10 on Apple's health and wellness charts, and there are rumors she's in talks for a solo spinoff. She's done being boxed in, said a close friend. Teresa 2.0 is about peace, power, and walking away from anything that doesn't align. Final thoughts. A reality queen rewrites her script. Teresa Giudice may have walked off camera, but she walked straight into another headline, proving once again that love her or hate her, she knows how to make an impact. In a world where reality stars often sell their souls for airtime, Teresa did the unthinkable. She chose silence over scandal.